Abbas Ali Mahdi sir to welcome our esteemed and respected guest for the day.
Good afternoon to everybody. It's a pleasure and honor for us today to have leading luminaries from different parts of country on the occasion of inauguration of a new beginning, that is a National Referral Center for Lead Poisoning at Era University. It's a big achievement. We started today with this center, which has been supported by Ulster University, Northern Ireland, United Kingdom, and I am happy that we are having today an eminent medical man who happens to be the Vice Chancellor of King George's Medical University, who is an well-known radio-oncologist. He is researcher par excellence, teacher par excellence, and above all, a human being par excellence. That is what is the quality of Professor MLB Bhatt is. I know him for last more than 20 years, 2 decades now, and he is very down to earth, very humble, and that is what the quality which has made him to rise to the highest pedestal at King George's Medical University, which happens to be his alma mater also. And today he is holding the post of Vice Chancellor, leading that university to higher streams. I welcome Professor Bhatt on his first visit after I have taken over as Vice Chancellor here. And it's always a pleasure and honor for me to have help and guidance from Professor Bhatt. He took the initiative because I was a bit apprehensive to approach him for signing a memorandum of understanding with King George's Medical University, which I desperately wanted to do. But Dr. Bhatt was great enough to take the initiative and send me Dr. Garg and Dr. Kaleem so as to have a MOU between Era University and King George's Medical University, and I'm happy to announce that just with his blessings, guidance, we have been able to achieve that task, and I'm proud to announce that we have signed an MOU today between KGMU and Era University. Thanks, sir. Thanks a lot for your blessings and guidance, and I'm sure that we have been interacting with Era and King George Medical University have been interacting. Dr. Rajan Prasad is sitting in front of me, and we have already held many conferences in association with KGMC and KGMU. But now we have got a formal MOU, and we are going to hold a conference in next 15 days. That is a Central Zone Association of Clinical Biochemists meeting, which we are holding on 21st and 22nd of this month only. And that will be a first conference being organized jointly by KGMU and Era University after the signing of the MOU. Dr. Shivani Pandey is sitting here. She is the organizing secretary of the conference, and I welcome her and I thank her for agreeing to be part between Era University and King George Medical University. Now, other thing is that today I am proud to have my mentor and teacher, Professor Thupil Venkatesh, who is commonly known as lead man of India, not lead man of India. He is the lead man of India. And we always have his blessings, and he is the person who initiated me to come and work, not only me but also Dr. Parveen Sharma, who is sitting on the podium. He initiated him also for generated our interest in lead, and that's how we established a lead center at KGMU, at Dr. Parveen Sharma at AIMS, Jodhpur also. And these 2 centers are doing wonderful work under the guidance of Dr. Venkatesh. Dr. Venkatesh is not only a lead man of India or lead man of India, because today the air which we are breathing is free from lead because of unleaded petrol. And hardly anyone in the audience will be knowing that it is because of Dr. Venkatesh that we got unleaded petrol, because he went to the parliament, he went to United Nations to persuade and bring a letter from there, from United Nations, that funding will be stopped until and unless unleaded petrol is used in India. And the present Honorable Governor, Shri Ram Naik ji, was the petroleum minister at that time, so he went to meet him and the then Prime Minister, Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, and to ensure that unleaded petrol is made available. And that is how today we are having the unleaded petrol from 2002 in India. The Chyawanprash, which you are having in the market today, especially of the highest brand, no hesitation in taking the name, that is Dabur's Chyawanprash. Amitabh Bachchan used to advertise it. You must have, some people must have be remembering that the advertisement was there for Chyawanprash being advertised by. He had the guts to go to Amitabh Bachchan while sitting in an aircraft, and he told him that you are propagating Chyawanprash for the children, and you are going to produce not intelligent children but idiot children in India. मंद बुद्धि के बच्चे आप पैदा करने जा रहे हो. तो उन्होंने कहा कैसे? उन्होंने कहा इसमें lead की मात्रा बहुत ज़्यादा है. And he has tested in Chyawanprash and found that that was much beyond the permissible limits, that lead was present in the Chyawanprash. And that's how Amitabh withdrew from the advertisement, and thereafter Dabur came up. Now today the brand they are popularizing is specially written unleaded, lead-free Chyawanprash, and that is again thanks to Dr. Venkatesh. The third thing is that the hall which we are sitting, the beautifully painted hall, it is full of lead, because in India as of today we are not having in the market unleaded paints. Again thanks to Dr. Venkatesh, that we went to the Ministry of Environment. I, along with Dr. Parveen Sharma, Dr. Girdhar Gyani, Dr. L.M. Srivastava, we went to, and other NGOs also, like Toxilinks and Pure Earth. They all went specifically to the Ministry of Environment, met the minister, met the secretary, holded innumerable meetings just to emphasize that the paint which is coming in the market should be unleaded paint. And now the legislation has come, act has been initiated, and from 2020 the paint which will be manufactured in India will be 2020, remember, still 3 years to go. That will be unleaded paint, total unleaded paint. But still as of today we are producing paint which is having lead in it. Europe in 60s, America in 70s, early 70s started having unleaded paint, but India, China, Brazil, the three major populating countries are still having full of lead paint in these countries. 16 countries are there, major countries are there. Minor countries like, for example, small countries like Nepal has got regulations, but we didn't get the regulations. So now that act has been enacted and it has been passed, and now we are going to have a unleaded paint. But still, when I go to the market and see the so-called environment-friendly e-rickshaws, I always get apprehensive on seeing them, because each e-rickshaw is having 4 batteries. And one battery has got sufficient lead to cause intoxication in 10,000 individuals. So you can very well understand that each e-rickshaw which is moving on our roads is capable of intoxicating 40,000 individuals minimum. And that is the state of affairs. We don't have regulations, and now we'll have to work under the leadership of Dr. Venkatesh and Dr. Parveen Sharma to work to having regulations, because we have seen a number of cases where people, their families are intoxicated with lead just because they are working in an industry which is battery recycling industry. So that is to be done still, and a catastrophe is going to come, because still we are not having unleaded decorative paints. The paints which are there is still for decoration. I'm calling about the decorations means, like for example the idols. In Durga Puja, and shortly we are going to have the Ganesh Utsav, and beautifully colored idols, millions of them are immersed where? In the water bodies. We may not drink the water bodies water directly. We may drink water which is coming from AquaGuard or some water filtration system. But for irrigation, for animals, that water is used, and that is going to come back to us again, either through milk or through flesh or through vegetation which are grown on the basis of irrigation by using that water. So that is a major task which is still left, that is unleaded paint should be used in decorative paints also. That is what we have to work for. So Dr. Venkatesh has worked a lot in this in last more than 25 years. He has been working on this, and that is why he is known as Leadman of India. So I welcome Dr. Venkatesh, and I feel proud to be associated with him. Then Dr. Praveen Sharma, who is Professor Head of Biochemistry at AIMS Jodhpur, and also he happens to be the President of Indian Society for Lead Awareness, and also Dean Research and Examinations at AIMS Jodhpur. We are happy to have him. He is also working in this area, and we are doing whatever we can do among all other people to contribute to the society for having a lead-free or lead-safe society, as Dr. Venkatesh calls. Then Ms. Pramila Sharma Malik is there. She is from an NGO which has been supporting us, the INSLAR. We conducted a study recently in Patna in association with Mrs. Pramila, and in which one small study done in a small population of about 40 children of a particular area, we found that more than 30% children are having blood lead levels very high. That the blood lead level should be less than 2 microgram per deciliter. But there we have found that most of the children are having more than 40, and some are having even more than 60 or 70. So that is because of the occupation which their families are doing. That is the area in which the school is there, residential activity is there, and that is where battery recycling workshops are there. So that is what is the problem, and we are having a catastrophe of it, as I have said earlier, that no regulations are there, and that is why we have to work on this. We have done a study as far as the center is concerned. The center has been established because Ulster University, Northern Ireland, approached me to establish a center because they wanted to develop a mobile device to predict lead toxicity by a questionnaire. And that is how the Department of Computer Sciences approached me to devise that device, and they visited us and we visited them, and we have undertaken a project in which we have analyzed in association with Department of Gynecology of ERA. Dr. Shipra is sitting over here. So I myself and Dr. Shipra did a study in 200 samples of cord blood and maternal blood, and in which we have found that more than 27% of the cord blood samples were having the lead levels more than 40 microgram per deciliter. So that is why I want to establish that, to strengthen the center at King George's Medical University as well as ERA. It has to be established because we are sitting at a place which is near Malihabad and Kakori, which is the mango belt, and many chemicals, including pesticides, insecticides, herbicides, and other chemicals for quick ripening of the fruits are used. And as you know, not only cancer or liver disease, but even diabetes has been associated, as recently published in a leading scientific magazine, that diabetes is because of incessant use of chemicals. Now chemicals, whatever the chemicals are there, whether they are pesticides, insecticides, herbicides, preservatives, etc., etc. So vast array of chemicals are being used today indiscriminately without knowing what effects. Some chemicals are added unknowingly because, for example, the common lychee is colored by, we have seen the WhatsApp messages, that it is colored by the paint which is not permitted for human consumption. And that is a big problem which we are facing at the moment, and that is why so many diseases, including cancer and diabetes, which is very predominating in our country, is because of use of chemicals. So a center has to be there for the analysis. ITRC was there, but unfortunately they have not worked